All right, so I was informed that there was like a VH1 special. Timberland and talks about his whole situation with his wife. I guess for starters, we have to just say the man married a chick without having a prenup, so that's strike one against himself. That's his fault for doing that. But I was confused for a minute because I thought that the child was a girl that they wanted him to pay child support for in the first story. That's what at least the news report was saying. But apparently, she had two children before he got with her. So they've been together 10 years, and so the kid had to be have already been born. But she probably had two children from two different men before he got with her. At least that's what it looks like to me. And she's not asking him to pay for child support for the older kid that she had before she got with him, but she's asking for the other one that was like probably a few months old or not even 1 year old yet. He's asking him to pay child support for that kid because he was there, I guess, from the beginning of that kid's life. But just real quick, both of them said that, in the VH1 special, which we're going to play after this clip, after I'm done talking, she said that, her rule was she didn't want to date a person in the industry, which is standard. They all say that after the fact, after they get divorced. But she said that before that, but they all say that later on, like, I never wanted to do that. And then he said that he didn't want to have, be with a woman with kids. He even said in the clip I'm about to show you, he hated women with kids. So they both reneged on their initial standards and rules. They both did that, and 10 years later, they're in divorce court now. But the mother, I listened to what she said, and I was feeling her at first, but she said, I didn't really think he should have got married because he was still having his fun and needed his space and all that, and she didn't want him to hurt anybody. And I can get that to the point where you're saying, like, if you're getting in a relationship with a person, especially that has kids, and kids do get attached to situations like that. So, and it's not, if it was just a woman, it's like you just walk away from her, but there were two kids already involved. So, I guess I can get her logic when she says that she didn't want him to hurt anybody. But she agreed. She said that she wasn't happy with him getting married. Now, it is stated that he claims, or the chick claimed that, who's it more at fault? Someone says that he married her because she thought that his wife looked like Aaliyah, which I don't think she looks nothing like Aaliyah. They have the same hairdo. The chick is just light skinned and she's way thicker than Aaliyah was. But he claims that, he thought she looked like Aaliyah and he was mesmerized, and he claimed that the moment he saw her, he was going to marry her. So apparently she knew this, that the only reason why he married you is because you look like another chick that's dead. I mean, did that not dawn on you, like, yo, this dude is only marrying me because I look like some other chick? Wouldn't that, ring bells in your head not to get married? But that's just my opinion. So who's worse at fault? Him marrying her because she looked like Aaliyah, or her acknowledging the only reason why he married her was because of the way she looked like another chick, a chick that was dead? But yeah.
A different kind of magic when he spotted a young marketing exec at an industry event in Jamaica.
When I first saw her, I said, that's a girl I'm gonna marry because she reminded me of Aaliyah.
She did resemble Aaliyah the way her hairstyle was, and it really attracted him.
I thought I saw a ghost. I said, Bill. Bill said, oh my goodness. I said, you see what I'm saying? I said, I ain't crazy. Hit me in my face. Am I crazy? He said, I see it. I see it.
So I took her over to meet Tim.
He asked me if I wanted to go to a party at their hotel, and I was like, absolutely not. And then Tim and I did talk for a while that night, and then we started communicating over emails frequently. Our first date wasn't that great. We went to dinner, and of course, all of his friends came. As we pulled up to the restaurant, I was taking my seatbelt off in the car, and he was already across the street. And I told him I don't think we could date, and he told me I was high maintenance.
He felt I should court her in certain things. I'm like, I ain't doing all that crazy mess.
We had an attraction, we had great conversation. There was something that just was stopping us from taking it to the next level. It was just easier for him to be disconnected than to definitely commit to me on that level, emotionally and mentally.
Timberland also felt
Save the world.
Tim's career was red hot, and his relationship with Monique Idlet, a single mother of two, was also heating up.
When I met Tim, we both had two statements that we made. I myself would never date a professional entertainer. Tim's perspective was he would never date a woman who had children.
I never wanted kids, and I always hated women with kids at one point in time.
It took me a while to introduce him, but it was automatic chemistry between all three of them. Just the boys got along with him, and it was never a problem. Tim just came right in and was amazing with them. He still is. That's their father.
In the spring of 2007, Tim and Monique discovered they were having a child together.
Our baby shower, it was beautiful. He was acting really weird that day, and when I was opening up the gifts, he came downstairs with like his whole entourage of friends. And I'm like, what is going on? And then he got on his knee and proposed to me. I was so caught off guard, I could not stop crying. I said, yes, of course.
It was a go. And I think I was pushing faster forward than she was, you know? And I felt like my life is going this way. All I need now is to complete it with a wife.
I can't say I was happy about it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't. I had problems accepting the fact that my son was getting married because I just knew he'd enjoyed his freedom, and I didn't think that he was ready to settle down. And I just didn't want him hurting anybody in the process. But I got to know Monique. She's a beautiful person, real kind-hearted person.
In November 2007, Monique and Tim's daughter, Rain, was born.
I never thought I could love somebody just as much as I love myself. And now it's all about the kids. You know why? Because I think it's something I never had.
Temberlin most definitely has changed. He's not that person that's hiding anymore. I think his daughter, by her coming into his life, it allows him to have some emotions.
I seen a transformation in him. His daughter has made him more mellow. His two sons have made him more responsible in terms of honing in on what's important.
Tim is now finding an escape from the studio. Now he's finding a way to balance family and work.
Eskimo this year.
In June 2008, the proud parents exchanged vows in a lavish destination wedding.
From the first time I saw you in Jamaica, I knew that you was gonna be my wife.
And I love you, and I couldn't see my life without you.
And I would be the best husband that I can possibly be.
The wedding in Aruba was just beautiful. Just beautiful.
He rented a whole island, and you had to get on a boat to cross to go to the island. It was awesome.
With this ring,
I be wed.
I be wed.
It was the most amazing day of our life. The emotions that were there that day, I just always remember that.
It's probably hard to be married to me. It's not easy. I'm a musical genius. I'm weird. I do crazy things. It's not like the average norm, but I'm a loving guy. I love you.
I love you.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't. I had problems accepting the fact that my son was getting married because I just knew he'd enjoyed his freedom, and I didn't think that he was ready to settle down. And I just didn't want him hurting anybody in the process.
Of two was also heating up.
When I met Tim, we both had two statements that we made. I myself would never date a professional entertainer. Tim's perspective was he would never date a woman who had children.
I never wanted kids, and I always hated women with kids at one point in time.
It took me a while to introduce him, but it was automatic chemistry between all
Of two was also heating up.
When I met Tim, we both had two statements that we made. I myself would never date a professional entertainer. Tim's perspective was he would never date a woman who had children.
I never wanted kids, and I always hated women with kids at one point in time.
It took me a while to introduce him, but it was automatic chemistry between all.
One thing that Temberlin said, I noticed a lot of men say, and I'm starting to believe that's a wrong reason to get married, especially like if you notice a lot of guys who got married when they were like 17, 18, and they went to the military. You know, they just did that because, you know, they were about to go off on ship or on leave, and they're about to go away for a minute, and they, wanted something to come back home to. And almost every man who said something like that, that relationship did not work out. They ended in divorce. I mean, like, I know several guys who, went off, shipped off, got married at 18, 19, 20, and their marriages didn't even last a couple years because they got married for the wrong reasons. But even Timberland said the same thing. He said, I had money, I had fame, what have you, and, I wanted to have kids and all that. And I'm starting to realize that you need to have a better reason to get married than that. Like, I mean, I guess I see myself get a pet or something. I just don't get the narrative. I mean, I get the logic of you build a legacy, you started from the bottom, and you have money now. You can do things that you never could do before, and you want to share that with somebody. But again, every time I hear men say that, it's always, it ends in a bad situation. It ends in divorce. Typically, one of my boys, we're supposed to do an interview together. He had a short career in the NFL. He's trying to get back into football, but he was in a similar situation, and his marriage didn't even last. In fact, it's odd. Well, she had 2 children before he got with her, and he admitted that a lot of people told him that he shouldn't have did it, and he should have took his time. And he says he has no regrets because he understands, it's a learning experience, a very expensive one, and he has 2 sons that are involved in the situation. But I'm starting to, when I hear men say that, I got money, I got wealth now I want to start a family. I think that you need to have a better reason than that. That's not enough to want to just have a family. It needs to be deeper than that, in my opinion.